Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Deep Cuts. I'm your host, Gagne, and with me, my partner, the Null Dog. What's up, buddy?
What's up, sir? How's it going?
It's good. It's good. I have dry eyes and a clear heart, and I'm ready to give you guys all the fun tearjerkers that we love. We love to watch because we feel we're real, we have emotion, as
Yeah,
my partner told me.
we are real. We feel. We're not robots. We have feelings. We're not brick walls. We can cry in some movies. That's some real tears, manly tears. So
Yeah, yeah, we've been there before. We're gonna I'm sure it's on our list for one of the movies at least. If it didn't make your list, it made mine. So let's
okay. All right.
let's dive into some. I think we recently reviewed Glory, and we both admitted that that's one of those ones that just gets you in the feels and can't
Yeah.
help but shed a tear. It's inspiring and sad all at once. What was one of the first ones that you can remember that you were shedding some serious tears?
Sure. All right. Let's go back to like the early 80s.
Yes.
One of the first films I remember crying in as a kid was E.T.
Mm.
And not when he was finally going home, not the goodbye, but it's when they found E.T. in the ditch and he was all white and he was dying. As a kid watching that, man, that broke me. That was like one of the few scenes that I remember as a kid that just broke me, and I did not want to see it. I was so hurt by it. I felt so awful that E.T. was dying. So E.T. was one of the first movies that made me cry.
I love
Boom.
it. I love that you went back to the 80s because I had a couple 80s movies that definitely made me cry. And Neverending Story for me is one of them. And
Really?
yes, when
Okay.
Atreyu is in the nothing and getting his horse is getting swallowed up,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
loses his horse. I mean, it's so sad. Like it's just yeah. That was probably the first time I remember and I loved that movie as a kid, but really remember losing it.
Yeah. I remember there was some kind of online rumor saying that they actually really killed the horse in that scene to get the shot. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so stupid. It
Dumbest.
was dumb.
Yeah, sure they did. Yeah.
Oh man, sorry, Atreyu. It's all good. Okay, never ending story. All right. Another one. Let's see. What do I got on here? I've got gosh, you were gonna make fun of me for this one. Aladdin. Aladdin made me cry at the very end. And I'll tell you why. I'll
Okay.
tell you why. It was right when Aladdin wishes the genie to be free, and the genie is surprised, and he's packing up, and Aladdin looks, shut up, see, I knew you're
Okay.
gonna laugh at. And the genie, they hug, Aladdin and the genie hug, and the genie says, no matter what anybody says to you, Al, you'll always be a prince to me. And I just started crying as a kid. So let's move
Realizing you'll
forward.
never be a
Let's
prince.
I'll never be a prince.
Look,
Oh
there
man, this is
are
gonna be a
no
fun
wrong
topic.
answers when it comes to what makes you cry. So that's fine.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I will equally embarrass myself and say that staying in the 80s, when the Transformers movie came out and they killed Optimus Prime, the
Oh.
leader of the Autobots, as a 6-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, God, I didn't understand it. And
Yeah,
obviously I didn't know business back then, but it was all just a ploy to sell new toys. They were like, we need new characters. So what do?
sure.
Let's kill off all the characters you've been watching on your Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, that's a great idea for kids.
Sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, traumatized.
um, okay. That's sad. So you bald. You
Robots,
bald.
man. Robots in disguise. And I
More,
bawled.
yeah.
It took
Well,
away my favorite character.
well, it's more than meets the eye. So, anyways, let's get all right. Another one. Oh, I'm gonna stick with the
Okay.
Disney realm. I'm gonna get the Lion King when Mufasa died, and Simba is like trying to wake his dad up, and I just, man, that broke me. You got Hans Zimmer score in the
Mm.
background. Hans Zimmer, shout out to Hans Zimmer, and Mufasa's dead, and Simba, little lion cub, is trying to wake his dad up. He goes, "Wake up, Dad! Wake
Mm.
up, Dad!"
Oh, gut wrenching,
Gosh,
gut wrenching. I feel like
yeah,
if that hadn't been turned into that, I feel like I've seen so many memes lately of that scene in different forms.
sure,
That's probably why I forgot about it because it's now been, it's been demystified. It's a joke now. It's a meme. But yes,
yeah,
100%. That is a heart wrenching scene. Disney
yes,
always does that to us, right? Like they're
yeah,
always killing off a parent. Like it does.
yeah,
It's not a Disney movie if you're not killing someone.
yeah.
God, what is wrong with them?
I don't know. It's normalized, I guess. All right, what do you got?
I got some Pixar films because they, are under the Disney umbrella now, and they just love to make you
Yeah.
cry too.
Okay.
I want to say Up because it makes me bawl in the very
Sure.
beginning. In the beginning of the movie, you got 10 minutes of a beautiful love story that, ultimately is completely separate from the rest of the movie. But in the beginning, they give you this quiet love scene of, a husband and wife going through life for 60 plus years, and then him losing his wife and never getting to go on this great adventure. And that the little thing she writes to him, about like, thanks for the adventure, now go find a new one. Oh my God. I'm again, just, I'm gonna cry now. Like, I don't want to, but
don't cry. Hey, press pause.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna do it. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
It's a beautiful scene, man. Those first 10 minutes are just pure. It's beautiful. And Up. So I have that on here as well. The movie so much was okay, but the first 10 minutes of Carl and Ellie life together was just, it's pretty amazing the way they did that. It's very real too. So I like that.
Yeah,
great
so
call
well
out.
Done. So well done. Keeping with that, and I know you have this on your list, Toy Story 3.
Yeah, it's on here. It's on here.
Multiple scenes. Like, it's not even just, one thing. They did a very good job marketing and playing it like this was it. This was really going to be the last one, and delivering a story that truly made you feel like you're losing your friends.
Yeah.
From the hand holding when you think they're going into the fire, and you're like, okay, now realistically, I'm watching it, and I realize, like, they're not going to put him in the fire. Like, it's not going to happen in the movie. But he holds Bullseye's little, hoof, whatever you will. Yeah. And come on, how do you not get choked up?
It's good. It's really good. I agree. That that the Toy Story 3 is it's gut wrenching. It really is. And just saying goodbye to basically your childhood. And so it's they did it really well. Damn you, Pixar. Okay. Another one that I have on here, and we've talked about this on our rom-coms, I believe, episode, was Click. Click actually made me cry.
Okay.
The scene where he's dying and they're all around him. So that scene was pretty powerful, that scene. So Click. Adam Sandler. An Adam Sandler movie made me cry.
Yeah, that's saying something right there.
Yeah.
I don't recall that scene, but I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, it was in the rain, and he was on the ground, and he was dying, and then his wife and his kids are all around him, and so it was good. I like that movie. What else? Throw something else out.
Armageddon, of course. Not so much now watching it, what's coming, but again, when you saw that movie in theaters, it was emotional. She loses her dad. He chooses to let his daughter be happy by sacrificing and staying back and letting her boyfriend get back. Yeah. Your boyfriend's back.
Your boyfriend's back.
Don't we go there. We gotta redo Armageddon, man. We gotta Armageddon 101. I agree. Armageddon is number one on my list. And the scene that made me bawl wasn't so much between Grace and Harry, but it was more with AJ, Ben Affleck, and what's his name, Bruce Willis, in the movie, when they were, he was sacrificing himself, and he was all, Harry, I love you, and it's just I didn't need that. I didn't need that, so I was crying. I was like 18 when I saw that.
Yeah, we have daddy issues, we're clearly.
Clearly.
I remember coming out of that auditorium and wiping my face because people won't believe me. I'm watching Armageddon. Like, this is a big Michael Bay action flick. If I come out crying, people are gonna think something's wrong with me. And I guess there was.
There was something wrong with you. Another one I have on here is Interstellar. Man, Interstellar.
How did I forget that one?
Interstellar, just the scenes between Coop and Murphy, his daughter, and him and the father and the daughter. Just the scene where he's videotaping himself because so many years have gone by, and she's watching it, and he promised her that he would come back, and he never came back. And then at the end, where she's Murphy, she's an old lady now, and he's still young because of the timeline. Man, it's just that movie just does something to me. It is just gut wrenching. I think it's probably just because, like, father daughter type of thing. It's
we may have to do that movie. I feel like that's a very underrated Chris Nolan flick, and for that reason, I mean, it's very, very emotional. I don't. Have we done a Nolan flick?
Not yet.
We may have to do Interstellar. That may just let us on to our next one. Stay tuned.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I have a couple newer ones.
Go for it.
Believe it or not, The Fault in Our Stars. It's
Okay.
very much a teen love story, romance, but good performances. Really, really well done. And even though like the premise is this girl falls in love with a guy, and she's got he's sick, but then she also is sick, and you don't know which one you're expecting to lose, but you're probably going to lose one because yeah, it's a
Yeah.
teen romance movie. But God, man, it got me in the end. It was another one. Even though I knew it was coming, it was just so well done that I was invested in the characters. By the end of it, I found myself sitting in the auditorium crying.
Okay. Fault in
Yeah,
Our Stars. I have to admit, I have not seen Fault in Our Stars. I'm sure people have, so, but
yeah,
I've heard good things about it. So I've heard really good things about it. So
it's a good one. It's one of those ones where you go in expecting like I know what this is going to be, but
sure.
got me in the feels.
Okay. Fault in Our Stars. All right. I am gonna go and throw out Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'll tell you what the scene with Mrs. Doubtfire was.
Okay.
It was when he was in court and he was with his ex-wife and they were basically debating on who's going to get the kids, and the kids are getting taken away now because he dressed up as a woman, and the judge doesn't seem as fit, and he's like, hey, I need my kids, like I need air, and like it's so gut-wrenching because
Mhm.
even his ex-wife is like, what am I doing? And the judge is like, you have to have supervised visits, you can't see them all the time. And just, I mean, it's gut-wrenching. That scene
Yeah.
is just oh, I mean, the way Robin Williams delivers those lines,
Yeah.
it's
Rest in
just,
peace, Robin.
yeah, we have to do a Robin Williams movie soon. Maybe Popeye. So
Ooh,
not
that's a deep
Popeye.
cut right there. Deep
Yeah.
cut on a deep cut.
Okay.
I like it. All I can think of Mrs. Doubtfire is like the little Matilda girl being like, "They're his goddamn kids too," with their little list.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So good. We might have to just do Mrs. Doubtfire. It's a good show.
Sure.
It's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the most recent one that I remember was I don't know if you saw this last year, but it was called The Sound of Metal.
No.
Nominated for Best Picture last year. Riz Ahmed, I think, might have won for Best Actor, or he was at least nominated. But story about a musician. He's a drummer. He starts to lose his hearing, and it's basically the story of watching him kind of go through that process. And it had one of the most, I wouldn't call it melancholy. It wasn't a sad ending, but it was just like everything came full circle, and one of those beautiful moments where the character realizes what he needs to do at the very end of the movie, and he sits there with the silence at the very end of the movie, and you're almost in the moment with him where you can't hear anything either. There's no sound. It's
Okay.
just him sitting observing that there's no sound, but just witnessing what's around him. And because you're on this journey with him, it credits rolled, and I was just a mess. I was like, it felt so deep and so true and so connected that I lost it. And it was actually my favorite movie of last year.
Wow. Sound of Metal. I gotta check that one out.
It's good. It's on Amazon. Check it out.
Sound of Metal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. I like
Yeah.
it. Man, I don't know if I got much else here. There's some ones that didn't make me cry that I know that are pretty popular that made people cry,
Okay.
and these are Titanic.
Yes.
Titanic
Yeah.
did not make me cry
Neither.
at all, not at all.
Neither.
I have a heart, but it just didn't make me cry. Another one that made people cry was Marley and Me.
Mm,
So
okay. Sure.
to be honest with you, I never saw Marley and Me because I did not want to cry. And
Right.
so later on in the years, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna YouTube when Marley dies and just watch
Right.
it and just tough it out. And it's a pretty sad scene, probably because I wasn't invested in the whole movie. I didn't cry, but I heard Marley and Me, people were, I mean, just bawling in that movie, especially if you're a lover of dogs, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you could pretty much throw any dog movie up that where the dog dies, because it happens in so many movies. Old Yeller, Art of
Old
Racing
Yeller,
in the
yes.
Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that. It's funny. I think I've never seen the ending of Marley and Me. I've seen up to like right before the dog dies.
Are
But
you
yeah,
scared? Are you scared to watch it?
I am Phoebe from Friends, where she's like, no, the movie just ends where her parents never showed her the ending so that she wouldn't
Okay.
be sad. Yeah,
All right.
that's me.
All right. Yeah. Okay. We both have dogs. We should watch a movie with our dogs. A movie that we're dogs. The dog dies
Dog
in the
movie with our dogs.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so okay, animals, right? There's a dinosaur movie out there that I just bawled in. A dinosaur movie,
Time
and
before time.
Yes, The Land Before Time, when Littlefoot's mother dies, is just in par with The Lion King. But this time it's the little boy and his mom, and she's dead, and he's trying to get her up, and she's this this big old long dinosaur, and she dies. That scene is as a kid, it was just traumatizing.
Yeah.
Awful.
I get that. I would love to interview some of these people who make these kids movies where there's just so much death, and you're like, what's wrong with you? I understand it's a fact of life, but my God.
Maybe they make it so the parents can enjoy it too,
Yeah. You gotta, quickest way to have heart in a movie, kill a parent.
Kill somebody.
Yep.
That's awful.
Bambi's mom, do it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Bambi. Yeah, but you know what? I didn't see Bambi till I was older, so it didn't have that effect on me.
Sure. So. Well, it's like, it's one of those off camera, you didn't really know the character much different, but yes. Yeah. I feel like I could list a couple more, but I will call a special one out because we saw this movie together in theaters, and that is The Green Mile. I do remember being like, man, we're two grown-ish men watching The Green Mile together and crying. Another gut-wrenching one, and rest in peace, Mr. Michael Clark Duncan. Man, when it finally happens in the movie, you're just rooting the whole time for something to happen, that it doesn't come to that, and it still does, and it killed me.
Okay. Now, did you cry more, or did I cry more in that? I feel like you cried more.
I probably cried more.
I think you cried more. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah,
that's true. It's right there. Facts. I don't know if I have anything else. There's another one I remember seeing. Stepmom. Did you ever see Stepmom?
Never saw it. I'm aware of the premise though, so that makes sense. That does make sense.
She has cancer in the end, and then Julia Roberts is the stepmom, and Susan Sarandon is the mom that has cancer who's dying, and basically she's trying to win her approval, and she's got kids, so it's pretty gut wrenching in the end. There's a quilt involved, and it's just I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
Needless to say, we enjoy movies that make us feel the feels.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't necessarily seek them out. I don't want to be bawling in a movie, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when you get emotionally attached to characters. This is make believe, and to invoke that level of emotion, I'm always appreciative of writers and directors who can get that out of me during film. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The list can be endless, but those are just a couple of them. I think that we know, we love, and let us know what you know and love, and
what makes you cry. Yeah. What makes you cry? We'll talk about what makes you cry.
We're here for all the movie therapy you can handle. So.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate the love and support on the deep cuts. Let us know your favorite tearjerkers, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.
All right. See you, everyone. Bye.